In this video, I want to show you how to repair your cracked front bumper on your budget vehicle, your daily driver, with just a few dollars and just a few hours. Now you can see here, this is what the Civic's bumper looked like when we got it, all cracked, all torn apart in pieces, and this is what it looks like right now. Super clean, super nice, super slick. And I'm going to show you how I was able to achieve this exact result with just a couple cans of paint and a little bit of epoxy. Really quick before we get started, the reason that I'm doing this is because I'm tackling a budget Honda Civic project, and looking at painted bumpers for these range anywhere from like $300 to $500. And this car, I don't necessarily want to pump all of that money into it just for a new bumper when this one's most of the way there. It could just stand to look a little bit better. So for about $30 or 1/10 of the price, we're going to be fixing this up. So here's the bumper. If I lift it up, you can see the gapping gets a little bit better. We can make it tighter so it fits. Basically everything other than these fog light pieces are still here. It's not like parts of the bumper are missing. And like I said earlier, I really want to try to salvage this. The crack up here will be more noticeable, and then depending on how good my paint quality is, this will be noticeable. But as you can hear, you can't really hear anything. These scratches aren't deep. It's not like it cut into the plastic, it just cut into the paint. So I should be able to spray over this and it should look moderately good. Now down here is where a bulk of the issue lies and stems from. But keep in mind, this is on the very bottom lip of the car. So I could go with an aftermarket lip that comes over. That would be kind of cool. Or I'm just going to try to plastic weld this back into a good shape, give it some more rigidity, go all the way over here, and then spray this. And again, it's not going to be perfect. We already have the fog light holes cut, unfortunately. But given that it's at the lower section of the car, I think it will still look very, very good. I'm more concerned about what is to come up here and up here than down here, especially with the visibility of it all. So anyway, I'm going to see if I have some plastic weld. We got the bumper on the bed of a truck, and it looks pretty good. The lineup is pretty nice. I'm going to work on the back side and make a big mess, and then make sure that the front actually looks good. Anyway, you can see this naturally wants to go out more. So what I'm going to do, well, you can see it in my hand, zip tie technician on the rescue, on the way to the rescue. I'm gonna drill a couple holes right at the very bottom, and keep in mind, this won't even be visible. So I'm going to drill a couple holes, zip tie around, that way I can reinforce the rest of the back with epoxy, and it should hold it pretty close. Now I can't do that and film at the same time, so I'm gonna execute this zip tie job, masterful zip tie job, and then go from there. So now we got the zip tie in as the base, and if we look at the bottom, you can see it lines up pretty well other than this crack. So I'm just going to try to hold this a little bit closer together and then go from there. So we got the epoxy mixed. I used a couple gloves. We got this one taken off, but you can see no lights getting through. And then over here, it looks decent. Not good. This isn't the final revision. This is just something to get it to hold. Bear in mind, this isn't like the final polishing step. This is just step one. So I'm happy with it so far. Gonna let it dry, let it cure, and go from there. Getting this all pretty uniform, sanding it down to make it smooth, and come in, finalize the rest of this, and then also make this more congruent, because this cut was made to fit the former fog lights, but the former fog lights aren't going to go in anymore. And so having this cut here, well, you could stick the corn in there, but otherwise it's not the best looking thing. So I think because we have this outer perimeter right here, I'm going to go in and just slice this so that we have a proper looking ring in there, make it smooth, and then either I could leave it open with no fog, or put some net, like chicken wire, not actually chicken wire, but put some like mesh or netting that's black that could accent it, make it look a little bit better and filled in. But either way, we are working on the bumper right now. Sweet, so it definitely looks a lot better. The crack is eliminated, and again, it's filled in thoroughly from the back. I guess I can't really show you, but I started from the back and then it seeped in the front, and I smoothed it in the front. So structurally it's still there, and then the face and the seam is still good. So I realized that I need to get right here, otherwise it'll stay cracked. This is smooth, this is smooth, this is smoothed out, even though it's at the bottom. We still have all the scratches here, but I don't need to do the sanding, because depending on how you look at it, only then can you see the scratches. So it's very surface. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little application here, as well as right here, because this will definitely be noticeable. Hopefully I can get it from the back and not really have to paint it, but I'm sure I'll be overspraying it and painting it in some fashion. So again, it's not gonna look perfect, but it will look better. I think the holes look better now because they're not half there and half not. So anyway, progress report, there we go. So we just got the second coat applied down here. It'll be very, very strong. And then also got this little spot up here taken care of. So time to let it cure, let it sit for another day, and get back to it. So we made some more progress on the sieve, came back, rough sanded it, got that spot addressed, as well as down there. Anyway, now we have a higher grade. So here's what it looks like now. This is really smooth. It came out incredibly well. This looks much better, and like from here, you can see it looks a lot better. If you look up close, yeah, you can see the imperfection still. But overall, I mean, it doesn't have that glaring crack that it did. And I think it'll come out rather uniformly. So I'm happy about this. It's amateur, it's backyard, it's literally painted on a farm. So can't expect too much out of this. Again, it's a DIY budget Honda Civic project. It's not some like show car build. I'm not starting off with the 2021 SI or Type R or whatever else it may be. Yes, of course, I could go for a brand new front bumper and have a shop do it. It's not the purpose of the build. And I want to show you, you can do it at home as well. Yeah, you're not going to have professional, perfect results, but I don't think the car is professional or perfect. We're just trying to bring some life back into it in the most financially responsible way possible. So that's what we're doing. I think I'm going to hit it with some blue that I have, before I get color matched, just to make sure that everything is going to look okay. So one last time, this is what the bumper looks like before we spray it. I did hit it with that other blue, so it looks better, but it's still not perfect. We have all these scratches here. This is still primer, and this is a very mismatched blue, low quality. But we got the right blue right here, Fiji Blue Pearl. Yes, there we go. So we're gonna give her a spray and hope it turns out well. So here a few coats later, this is how it looks. Can't see the scratches on this side, and here's the bad side. Looks pretty good now. Sorry about the weird angles, but there you can see. Looks normal, looks fixed, looks refreshed, and I'm happy about it. Thumbs up for the $26 aerosol can. I didn't get the underside too much because I want to save this as much as possible, but it looks good. Now for the moment of truth, we'll see how it matches up when we put it on the car. And here's how it turned out to be. I think it looks really, really good, leagues above how it looked before, and knowing that we did this for just around 30 bucks, 26 for the paint and about 5 for the epoxy. This is a steal, a huge come up, and an incredible transformation. So hopefully you found this video valuable, insightful, and helpful. If you did, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with some other tips. And usually on here, I'm actually going over more financially responsible ways to own a vehicle and how to make money with vehicles as well. So if you're interested in that, be sure to subscribe. And with that in mind, I will see you on the next one. Peace.